You call that fixing a car? The billionaire's daughter scoffed, her laughter sharp as glass. The poor mechanic wiped sweat from his forehead, his hands still black with grease. He didn't look up, just kept tightening the bolt on the old engine. Her friends giggled behind her, snapping pictures as if mocking him was a sport. He finally raised his eyes, steady but calm. "Ma'am, the car will run smooth now. Mock me if you want, but the road will prove me right." She blinked, caught off guard by the quiet strength in his voice. No one ever spoke back to her, not without fear. She smirked, trying to cover her surprise. We'll see. When the engine roared to life, a hush fell over the group. The mechanic stepped back, wiping his hands on his worn rag. His smile was small, almost shy, but certain. The daughter's laughter faded as heat rose in her cheek. She turned away quickly, masking her slip with a scoff, but her eyes betrayed something else: curiosity. Over the next weeks, their paths crossed. Again first at the mansion's garage, then in town. Each time she tried to mock him, but each time his calm replies cut sharper than insult. He never begged for approval, never flinched before her name or her wealth. He treated her like a person, not a princess, and that unsettled her more than anything. One evening, when her car broke down on the edge of the city, he arrived without hesitation, tools in hand. She waited with folded arms, ready to laugh at his struggle, but instead she watched. The way he worked, steady, focused, the streetlight catching the resolve in his eyes. For the first time, she didn't see a poor mechanic. She saw a man she couldn't stop staring at. She leaned against the car, pretending to scroll her phone, but her eyes kept drifting back to him. The grease on his hands, the sweat on his brow, the calm focus in his face. It wasn't weakness, it was strength, and she hated that she noticed. He caught her staring once and simply said, without looking up, "You don't have to stand there like I'm beneath you. You can talk like a normal person." Her lips parted, ready to fire back, but the words stuck in her throat. No one had ever spoken to her like that, without fear or flattery. She folded her arms tighter, masking the sudden flutter in her chest. When he finished, he shut the hood with a firm thud and stepped back. "The car will take you anywhere now," he said, quietly. "Unlike people, it won't quit halfway." She slid into the driver's seat, but her hands lingered. "On the wheel?" She wanted to reply something, cutting something proud, yet what came out was softer than she intended. "Thank you." He gave a short nod, turning to walk away, but her voice stopped him. "You never asked for anything, not even payment." Why? Looked at her, then eyes steady, because respect means more than money, and if I can't earn that, then I've earned nothing. Her heart skipped. She tried to laugh it off, but the sound came hollow. That night she drove home, but couldn't stop hearing his words echoing louder than the engine. For the first time in her life, the daughter of a billionaire found herself curious not about jewels or parties, but about the man who refused to bow to her name. The days that followed unsettled her in ways she couldn't explain. She found herself watching the garage window when her car passed by, searching for the familiar figure bent over an engine. Sometimes their eyes met, and he gave the smallest nod. Nothing more, nothing less, but it stayed with her longer than diamonds ever had. One evening, her father hosted a grand party, lights glittering across the mansion gardens. She wore a gown that shimmered under chandeliers, yet as laughter filled the air, she felt strangely empty. Her friends chattered about travel and brands, but her thoughts wandered back to the quiet mechanic who never tried to impress her. She slipped away from the noise and walked toward the garage, where faint light spilled under the door. He was there, sleeves rolled up, working. On an old car that had seen better days, he looked up, surprised, when she entered, still in her silk dress and pearls. "You shouldn't be here," he said simply. She hesitated, then stepped closer. "I didn't come for the car, I came for you." Her voice faltered at the end, her pride warring with something deeper. He wiped his hands, slowly, setting the wrench aside. "Then why mock me all those times?" Her chest tightened. Shame flushed her cheeks because I was afraid, she admitted, afraid of what I felt. "When you never looked at me like everyone else did. Afraid that you saw me not as a billionaire's daughter, but as just a girl, and that made me weak." He studied her, silently, his eyes softer than she expected. In that silence, she realized how true her words were. For the first time, she wasn't laughing at him. She was fighting not to fall into him. He stepped closer, his presence steady, unshaken, while her heart pounded louder than the music drifting from the mansion. She lifted her chin, though. Her voice trembled. "I don't want to be the spoiled girl who laughed at you. I want to be the woman who stood beside you when no one else believed in you." His eyes searched hers, and for a moment, the world outside the garage vanished. He spoke low, but firm. "I don't care about your father's money or your name. I only care if you mean what you just said." She swallowed hard, nodding without hesitation. "I do. I've never been more sure of anything." He reached out, wiping a streak of grease from his wrist onto a cloth, then slowly took her hand. The roughness of his palms against her soft fingers told a story no jewel ever could. Tears stung her eyes as he whispered, "You mocked me once, but I saw through it. You're not the woman who laughed. At my work, you're the woman standing here now telling the truth." She let out a shaky breath, almost a laugh, but filled with relief. "And I can't stop loving you." At that moment, the roar of her father's party felt distant, meaningless. The only sound that mattered was the steady beat of two hearts, learning they no longer belonged apart. In the dim light of the garage, a billionaire's daughter found the one thing she had never been able to buy. If this story moved, you share it so others. Never forget that one selfless act can rewrite a destiny in ways no one sees coming.